So how did you start to throw off the old self and put on a new self?
Yeah. Personal development with just starting to read a book a week, a book every 2 weeks. That was it. That was the thing. I remember picking up like Elon Musk's biography. I was like, okay, well, he's got to know something that I don't. So let's jump into that. Second book, I think, was 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, Stephen Covey. And then you eventually get into Think and Grow Rich and all these books. And that was the thing, because it helped me think like there's something bigger of who I am than what's going on. I'm not just this body. I'm not the results. I'm not the college degree. I'm not the thing. Like, there's something bigger going on. And that was the start of the shackles, opening.
We love the hero's journey. Like, we're obsessed.
I love it, yeah.
And we love Lord of the Rings. We're also obsessed.
Love Lord of the Rings.
And we love, like, when Gandalf comes, knocks on the door, and that invites Frodo into a huge adventure. Was there a Gandalf in your life that kind of showed up and helped reveal the next step?
Yeah, I love Lord. It's got to be my favorite trio of movies ever. That and The Matrix.
Oh, dude, yeah. There's like total alignment going on right now. This is sick. Yeah.
By far the best. Even like, just kind of going on a little side note, like when I was like 5 or maybe 7, 8 is when I saw The Matrix. I don't know, somewhere around there. And I was like, even then at like 8 years old, I'm like, I know there's something in this, right? And I'm 8 years old. I mean, what is an 8-year-old now, right? Anyways, that's a different story. But yeah, I think there wasn't a Gandalf per se physically in person, but it was online. It was Les Brown.
Wow.
Yeah, the motivational speaker. And why I say he was the first Gandalf for me was because I started listening to like his videos and things, and I never heard anybody talk like that. My father was very inspirational to me as well. He always did for me and my brother, like all these motivational quotes and letters and all this stuff. So that was like early on. But then at that time where I was like alone, living alone and not knowing where to go, I'd listen to Les Brown every single night, like every night. And when I was working out, I'd listen to him. And when I was like driving, I'd listen to him. And that voice was the voice helping guide me. It wasn't direct though. It wasn't like, hey, Frodo, here's what we got to do, right? This was just like the
Gandalf podcast.
Right. This was like here's where you can start thinking is the path.
And this may be a bit of a weird question, but you know that like Maya Angelou quote where it's like, you can't always remember what people say, but you remember how they made you feel.
Yeah.
Do you think it was the content that he was saying that was so powerful? Or do you think it was like the energy and the maybe frequency that he was speaking at that really grabbed you?
I think you said that perfectly. I think it was the feeling, 100%. I mean, the words are there, like, it's possible. You can live your dream. It's not over until you win, right? All those kind of quotes he used to say. Those are all true and they did resonate. But really what was the resonation was, like, it made me feel something different could happen. It made me feel like maybe the job isn't the ultimate thing. It made me feel like I can become a different person. And a lot of people they're so asleep in their consciousness that they feel like that's them and they'll defend it. No, that's just me. Oh, you know who I am. Or things of the nature where they defend their current identity or archetype. And I think it is all about that feeling of like, do you feel that something could be different for your life? And that's the start, 100%.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
So what happened next?
Well, the next breakthrough, I'd say that's when Bob Proctor came in. So the journey was, after that job in Vegas fell through, I went to one of the casinos. I don't remember which one I was staying in. I can't remember the name of the hotel. But I remember going to a lobby, and this was like 9 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, I'm going to declare that I'm never going to have a job again. So I just took a napkin that was right there at the bar, and I wrote that out, and I wrote down some other thoughts. I still have that. I'm going to frame it one day because I want to show that it's like a symbol of like, make a declaration, make an intention, and this is something that can come true, you know? So from that point, Les Brown, to go back to him, he was speaking in Anaheim. 4-hour drive from Vegas. I already had a car because I was going to move my life here. I was like, let's just go over there. And I wasn't ready to go back home. I grew up in Rochester, New York. And I was like, I can't go back. I can't go back to a job, the usual stuff. So basically, when I went there to Anaheim, it was called Get Motivated Seminars. And it had panels of speakers. There's like 8 of them. Les Brown was the last one. And each speaker had their own unique talents and business model. A real estate guy, eBay, Amazon selling guy, write a book, invest, whatever.
The full fellowship of the ring.
Exactly. There wasn't the full 9, but So at that point, that was like, this is how people build wealth. I had no idea how to make $1 outside of a job. I never heard of that besides like own a gym, or I used to do like painting jobs and things, right? Okay, I could see that, but I didn't want to do that long term, right? So these things all had like pay $40 and go to a 3-day seminar, and then they sell you their up level package, right? So I went to every single one of them. Every weekend I would go to, it was like one in LA, one in Anaheim, one in Culver City, whatever. Wow. I just kept going to them. And I was like, I got to find one of these that resonates. But the more I got into it, I was like, I didn't really care about them. I didn't have passion for real estate. I didn't have passion for selling on eBay. It was just going to make money. And I did hear a lot of speakers say, like, if it's just for the money, it's probably not going to work out. I tried a network marketing company as well. I just tried every little thing you could think of to say, like, where am I going to go? And then ultimately, I went to a gym because I'm very fitness oriented here in Vegas when I was here, and then in LA. And the guy was like, so why are you here? I told him my story. I told him about Les Brown. He never heard about it. He's like, have you ever heard of the book, The Secret? And I was like, I never heard of this. And he's like, you got to check it out. Go find the book, read it tonight. I was like, okay. So the nearest bookstore was in Culver City, which was Michael Beckwith, inspirational speaker and spiritual teacher. I went to his church because they had a bookstore, and I bought The Secret. And at that moment, I found Bob Proctor. And that was like, he started teaching something about why things were the way they were and how to change it. And that was like a different world from Les Brown. Was me feeling like things were possible. And then Bob Proctor entered of like, now here's what to do.
Right.
And that was the next breakthrough of like changing trajectory and journey and all of that. 100%.
So Bob kind of helped you implement a lot of the head knowledge that you had been accruing up until this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because particularly like now, whenever we talk about your Skool community, like something that I'm attracted to about what you guys are doing is that it's very implementation focused.
100%.
Because I think like in the culture, we consume like crazy. And there's a huge vacuum there where it's like, there's a big vacuum of the implementation part.
Yes.